Up in here, the book in stores right now. How to get out of your own way, man. We got to talk about relationships. Now, relationships.
Yes, sir.
There's sometimes, man, I have a friend of mine that every time we get on the phone, we're going to have the same conversation. About how bad things are, and it seems like, and I always tell my crew, they're like, how could somebody, and I say this one thing, I say, you know what, man, you're thinking rational for the irrational. And sometimes you get these thoughts. It's easy to say, man, you need to leave them. You need to leave them. You need to leave them. But sometimes
we could give out the best advice, but to take your own advice, I think, is the hardest thing.
Right. So just with like relationships, Tyrese, and we saw you on Wendy Williams also, and I didn't think you got a real chance to flush out even the cheating thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Great.
Men are expected to cheat.
They are.
Great.
I got a lot of people hitting me on Twitter about y'all talking about that on the show.
Let's talk about that.
Please.
Now, men are expected to cheat, and I don't think you had a chance to really flush this out.
Right. Well, the first thing before I get into that is another one of the things I live my life by is life is a menu. Whoever and whatever you order for your life is what's going to be delivered to the table. Nobody picked that man. You went to the club or the restaurant or to the church, whatever your scenario was, nobody picked that dude. Nobody said have unprotected sex so you can feel more of what y'all doing in the bed and make that baby. Nobody forced you to do that. And so that's what you ordered for your life. And so it's like, stop running around playing victim, not just women, but men too. Like,
Right.
a lot of dudes out here making babies with big asses. It's like, you don't even like the woman.
Right.
It's just that big old butt and that mouth or whatever the situation was that made you say, yo, I'm finna make a baby. And so you running around mad that she's acting an ass because you...
Because you wanted that ass.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? You ordered it, and here it is.
That's it. And so going back to the cheating thing, I was saying to Wendy, and I didn't get a chance to finish, but I'll be back on there because I really like what she did for the energy around my book. Regardless, I love her.
Yeah. It was a great segment.
Yeah, it was a really good sit down.
It's when I said that the whole thing about men are expected to cheat. I'm not saying that all men cheat because that's generalizing and it's not fair. Because I talk about it in my book, like, monogamous men that focus and are only interested in being with one woman, they exist. And so to generalize it would be unfair. And so I was saying it's expected of men to cheat compared to women, even though women do cheat, because everything about most men upbringing, especially black folks that I grew up around, it's like all of the conversations is how many can you hit?
Right.
How many can you run through? And you end up getting props and love for the amount of girls that you run through. And so our process when it comes to
white
sex,
people, everybody Asian, like, hey, that's two.
but the process of sex for us as men, not all men, but the process for us is like taking off shoes. It's not that emotional. It's just like, yo, you hit it, you keep it moving. The process for women is way more emotional because the man is entering their body, and before you have sex, you want to tap into the emotions of.
I've said this.
Liz is like, I said this last week.
No, I was so funny because I was literally just reading something and they were talking about how like just our body makeup too. Like they were saying women release a certain hormone that makes you want to cuddle after, and they have all these emotions involved. but I made a really good point. I actually said I agreed with you. I said because you put say tomorrow you have a male and a female, one skyrockets or they both skyrocket into success and fame. The man is more likely to feel, I believe, that he's entitled now to all these women, and he's going to go out and he's going to do whatever. The woman doesn't all of a sudden feel like, yeah, I'm going to get all these guys now, and I'm going to knock it out.
And grab me one.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, the other side of it is going back. If you connect sex for men, not all men, but most men, especially when you come from the hood and didn't really have the type of access that I have now.
Right.
But it's one of them things where when I first got into the industry, and I'm just putting myself out there, like, I wasn't getting women like that on any level, period, right? Every once in a while, somebody will say he cute or handsome, but it went into a whole nother level. And so my mentality was, just like money, you run through your money when you're not used to money. And it's because, like, yo, I got to make up for lost time. Like, man, you know how many times I've been to the mall or to the swap meet, Slauson swap meet, Linwood swap meet, and I'm walking around putting on shoes, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's nice. You know, that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna come back and get that later.
Right.
You ain't got it, dog. You just wanted to put them shoes on your feet to see what they felt like, because you ain't got it. And so, connected to sex and connected to women. Who would ever think that I would be at it for 15 years? And so, of course, I've slowed down in a major way. But when you first get in the game, after going from just being a regular Joe Smo on the block, you feel like, man, I need to wild out as much as I can because it's going to be over soon. And so it's a matter of like really wanting to get it out your system and live a little, because you feel like, man, they going to stop calling my name. I done seen many dudes with #1 records, singles, hot videos, and their career just fizzle out. Now they waiting in front of a club with 12 dudes trying to get in. They're like, hold on, dog, it ain't happening.
Right.
Like, and so it's like, honestly, you thinking this might be over soon. So that could be easily one of the motivations for anybody, especially in showbiz, or even just somebody who just go from not having money to getting a whole lot of money. You know, you see all these politicians, you see all of these folks that are out there, the DC Madam type of cats that are out there wilding out. It's like, what's going on with all this money and power and vaginal activity? I mean, it's full throttle. And so at the end of the day, like I said, it's not all men cheat, but it's expected of men to cheat because of our upbringing. You know, you're in high school and you trying to run through as many as you can if you're the popular football player. Like, you just slaying them left and right. It happens.
Yeah, like Big always says, like, you don't see Beyonce like saying, "Oh, let me get those two in the front row and send them back."
Bring them back to me. You know, have men been mad at you for that statement, Tyrese?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, because I mean,
I told you, right?
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it's you know, I mean, like for me, in general, it's a very touchy subject, and I understand because most women are on the receiving end of the cheat, and so it's not expected of them to agree or say, "Oh, okay, yeah." But if you're more of a realist and you're out of the fantasy land, you know, then you'll understand more. Like, you know, if you've been with 3 or 4 dudes and you fell madly in love and you end up being cheated on, then you more so understand what I'm talking about.
Why do you think some people stay?
Well, most women that I've had a conversation with, they'll say, "I just didn't want to start over. I didn't want to start over. Like, this dude knows all my secrets. You know, I'm used to the sex. I'm used to him. And so why would I start over? You know, and I'm vulnerable. I'm lonely. It's going to be embarrassing because I done told all my girlfriends and my mama that this is the man of my dreams and this is my husband." And so the embarrassment of starting over and watching it end, it's like, it's a fantasy. Like, I've created this thought in my mind that this is my husband.
Right. And some people think that also you could change someone.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I'll change.
like,
you know, she was
fix
like
her
this,
up
he
or
was
pro-
like that. Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And end up being a money pit.
That's it.
Let's believe that. We got Tyrese in the neighborhood, Big Boys.
Big
neighborhood.